I have lost count of the amount of people that I spoke to that didn't even know this island existed. And honestly, I can understand why. Because from the mainland, it doesn't look like anything special. Just a small patch of woodland nestled quietly in the middle of Lough Neagh. But hidden amongst these trees is the remains of a medieval round tower, the traces of community that once lived here, and stories that stretch back for centuries. And today, we're going to explore what's left. We're going to uncover the history that's hidden in plain sight. And now that the boat has left us off, we have the whole place to ourselves. This is Ram's Island. So as soon as you step foot on the island, you're greeted by all these wild birds. We've got chickens, peacocks, peahens, duck, geese. I think that's about it. Oh, I've seen a few pheasants running about as well. And they come right up to you. They're not a bit scared. So I'm on the island with my brother Brian, my brother-in-law Davey, and my two nephews, Lee and Stephen. And we're going to be wild camping for 2 nights. We're going to do a spot of fishing, we're going to get a campfire going, cook some nice food, and just relax and enjoy being on a secluded island. So hopefully you enjoy and you can stick around for the whole video. Well, there's the round tower. Wow. Look at this. Look at the size of that thing. How on earth did they build that on this island? Where did they get the stones from? They must have got those stones just from the shoreline of the island. There's no way they got those from the mainland. This thing was built over 1,000 years ago, and it was actually originally 70 foot high, where now it stands at around 40 foot. So back in the day when this was first built, it was almost twice the size. That is crazy. Sitting here beside the round tower, you're looking at probably the most obvious reminder of just how far back the history of Ram's Island goes. Archaeologists believe this tower dates from around the 9th or 10th century, and it was part of an early Christian monastic settlement here on the island. The doorway was originally much higher off the ground than the entrance you see today. One theory is that towers like this were used as places of refuge during Viking raids, and the monks would use a ladder to climb in and then pull it up behind them so the would-be attackers couldn't gain access. And there's an even darker side to the story. The area around the tower appears to have been used for burials, and in the 18th and 19th centuries, some human bones and even complete skeletons were uncovered here, possibly connected to a Ram's Island massacre where 44 people were killed during an island invasion. So if you're camping here, personally, I'd avoid this area. One of the things that really surprised me about Ram's Island is just how much thought the volunteers have put into making camping here possible. There are a number of different spots around the island, from little secluded areas tucked away in the woodland to larger open grassy areas, and they all have their own designated fire pits. And the great thing is that the volunteers will even provide you with firewood for a small cost, so you can have that proper big campfire without having to carry your own logs across on the boat. So it's got that wild camping feel, just with a few little touches that make the whole experience that wee bit easier. This island was once owned by a family called the O'Neills, and they were a pretty wealthy family, and they bought the island just as a summer retreat, a summer getaway almost. And I would say they built this building, this house, as a base for whenever they visited the island. This is Kev. Kev is a volunteer for the Rams Island Heritage Project, and he was more than happy to tell us a bit more about the history of the island.
What you see there is this blue part is the highest part of the island. That's all that used to be there. They've lowered the lock 4 times, last in about 1959, and it's been lowered and totaled by about 10 foot. So the island's grown from 4 to 6 acres to 40 acres. So a lot of the history you'll see, if you'd gone up to the old Neil's summer house,
Yeah.
you would have seen the stones.
Yes, seen those.
So that would have been what you would have been seeing here, you see. So the stones would sit here and the water would be lapping up to the bottom of it. So you can see this was dated 1838. So you can see that even then the top of the tower's missing.
Yeah.
And you can see the stones and the water lapping at the edge there. So that was the O'Neills. Again, the island's still owned by Lord O'Neagh. He gave us a tenureship to sort of run it.
Although the O'Neills owned the island, because they weren't here all the time, they needed someone to look after it when they weren't here. They needed a caretaker. So they hired a family called the Cardwells. They were a very interesting family, but more about them a bit later on. Wonder what that's for. Any ideas? Crushing cans of beer, maybe? So this is the old barge. And through here is the toilets, normally, which aren't open this weekend. But this is so cool. Is it good luck to find one of these? Not sure. I'm going to hold on to it anyway, just in case. Right, all this exploring has made me really thirsty. It's given me a really dry throat. So you know what that means. Let's get back to camp. These boys all on their phones. All on their phones. There's a man hard at work, collecting firewood for later on. So I've seen this in the shop and it intrigued me. Iron Brew. I love Iron Brew, the soft drink, but I'm not sure exactly what this is. It is brewed in Scotland, and all it says is a light and refreshing cooler, whatever that is, brewed in northeast of Scotland and packed with flavour. So I'm going to try this out. That is actually, well, for a start, it's delicious and really refreshing. But it just tastes like iron brew. It's like an iron brew flavoured beer almost. Sounds weird, but really nice. Get that in you. This must be the wishing stone here, although there is two of them. So I don't know which one you make a wish upon. So to be safe, I'm going to wish on both of them. I wish that Stephen would not snore tonight. And I wish that Stephen would not snore tonight. Chili and rice for lunch, and I'm going to give you a top tip here. So I have lost my long-handled spork, so instead of using the tear line that they suggest, turn it on its side, push all the food down to the bottom, get your knife, cut along there. So you don't need your long-handled spork. A normal spoon will do you, because you haven't as far to go down the packet to eat it. Oh, that's hot. Whew. If you want more top tips like that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and if you're enjoying this video, hit the hype button. So I'm just following this path. It says it leads to the viewpoint, but it's very overgrown with a lot of stinging nettles, and I can't see a viewpoint. But I'll keep going right to the end, see if I can find it. Ah, so this must be it here. But as you can see, it's fallen into a bit of disrepair just. That's it there. But I am not standing on that. No chance. There looks like there's a wee thing of rocks I might try out. Just look at this. The blue-green algae. It's absolutely disgusting. It's like thick green soup. The blue-green algae isn't actually algae at all, but a type of bacteria, and when it gets in the right conditions, it can multiply and form this thick, soup-like matter that we've seen. One of the biggest problems is the amount of nutrients finding their way into the loch, some of which comes from agricultural fertilisers and manure that are washing off farmland and into the rivers that feed the loch, while wastewater and other sources also contribute, and in the warmer weather it's creating conditions where this sludge can thrive. And something really needs to change. This isn't just an environmental issue. Lough Neagh is hugely important to Northern Ireland, for drinking water, fishing, wildlife, tourism and recreation. Now, the Northern Ireland Executive has already recognised the scale of the problem and has an action plan in place, but reducing the amount of pollution entering the lough means tackling it at the source. It's a massive problem that's been building for decades, so there probably won't be a quick fix. But something this important surely deserves a long-term investment, regulation and action needed to get Lough Neagh healthy again. Now, there's a place just up here called Bluebell Wood, which sounds good. I'm going to go there next. Oh yes, look at this wee place. Obviously it's not the season for bluebells, but I'd imagine in early spring this place would be covered in bluebells. Otherwise, why would they call it Bluebell Wood? But this is a nice spot. You could camp, fire pit, you have a barbecue, picnic table, and plenty of flat areas to pitch tents. I think I still prefer our spot, but this would be a good second choice. Is that a tire swing? It is. You know what that means? Right, how do you get into this thing? You just put your legs right through the middle, or do you have to, oh sugar. Oh. That's us now, I just get a wee push off. Whoa. Huh? You. This is the life. Just swinging from a tree in old Bluebell Wood. Love it. A wee push off here. Ah. Oh. 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 Right. Oh, how do you get off this thing? Oh no. Oh. Oh. Help. Someone. Oh, jeepers. Oh. This is not good. Help. Help. Right, I'm just gonna have to. Goodness me. Goodness me. That was not a good idea. So not far from Rams Island was a US military base, just across the water. And back in World War II, so early 40s, every so often the American soldiers would come over to Rams Island, I suppose just to let their hair down a wee bit. Bit of a party, bit of a booze up, who knows what they got up to. But up at Bluebell Wood you can still see where they carved their names into the tree, and there's different inscriptions, and all these years later they're still here for us to see. 1947, 1955. Isn't that amazing? One thing about Rams Island, you're right under the flight path to Belfast International Airport, and every so often you get a plane flying over. That's enough exploring for the time being. Let's go fishing. So, bad news about the fishing. We didn't catch anything. Surprise, surprise. But we're not quitters. We're going to try again tomorrow.
Where's the fire? Scott had a fire lighter last night. No, I just had burnt the stick.
Welcome to Tin Can Alley. The idea of the game is to knock those cans down with this catapult.
You could. Oh, Scott.
That's how we do it in the big leagues.
Stand that hit one. It hit the void, I think.
Just the bottom of it.
Oh. What a
Oh yes!
nearly knocked the other one off.
Well, Davey, how's the fishing going so far?
Not great. Very hard conditions.
Hard conditions.
Wind and loads of algae.
I think that's affecting the fish.
Absolutely, and I can't. And the bottom of the lake is too rocky. I'm with my waders, very slippy. So I can only go out a wee bit on the wind. So I'm going to wait till later on. Hopefully when it dies down, and I'll do a wee bit of dry fly.
Dotted all around the island are these blue bins, and they're actually feeding stations for all the wild birds that reside here. I would say the volunteers have made these just to keep the birds fed. There's one getting in for some grub now. So there's a wee cage, a wee feeder underneath where they just reach under and get whatever they need. So this might not look like much now, but this is the site of the summer house of the Cardwells, who the O'Neills employed to look after the island when they weren't here. So this is all that's left of it. It would have been an old brick cottage, probably with a thatched roof. The first names of the Cardwells was Robert and Jane, and they were pretty self-sufficient here. Robert probably would have fished the loch, getting them dinner sorted, while Jane looked after the house and the gardens. And you can see just what's left, the actual floor where they would have stood, the tiles on the floor where they stood, probably in the kitchen, still remain. You can see them to this day. And I think Jane lived to the ripe old age of 99 and is now buried just over in the mainland in a cemetery in Lough Neagh.
Last inhabited about 1933-34. Robert died in 1929, aged 88. His wife then was 98. She lived on in the island after his death. There's pictures out. I think that one might be Robert's.
Oh.
So that would have been the funeral procession. He was a fisherman, hence a lot of fishermen there. See the date on that, 1929. And you'll see on the bottom there that he was the island's caretaker for, it says there, 38 years, I think 39 years, and leaves the widow 98 years old.
Just what? Is that one? Is that one? Is it? Bummo?
No.
What? Look it up.
No, we're not looking it up. Get it off.
Bummo?
Bummo's not a word.
Bummo? What?
I'll give you bum, but
What even you give me? Bum is. We've all got them. Well, some is dirty and others like. But we've all got a bum. Good job. Oh wow.
Tasty.
Tasty.
Yeah, we camp looks well, doesn't it?
Great.
Good spot. So that is dinner done and dusted. It was absolutely lovely. We all had some form of baked potato cooked on the fire. Davey had chili con carne with his. Stephen had some form of curry. Brian had pulled pork. And I had steak, mushrooms, onions and chipotle sauce. Oh, Lee, he didn't have baked potato. He just had steak and asparagus. So we're well fed, absolutely stuffed, to be honest with you. So the plan now for the rest of the night is just to sit round the fire, relax, have a bit of crack and see what the night brings. Just so peaceful sitting here, listening to the water just lapping against the shore. Lovely. I've really enjoyed Rams Island so far. Class wee island just to explore. So much to see and do on such a small island. Rams Island is actually 1 mile long by about 1/4 of a mile wide. And it's the biggest island in Lough Neagh. So there's plenty to see and do, lots of history attached to it, little oddities. It's pretty cool. I would recommend anyone who wants to come here, do it. Get in touch with the volunteers, they'll get you over and just spend the night here wild camping. So good. And the volunteers, you have to give them credit where credit's due. The amount of work they've done here, the upkeep of this place, it must take a lot of hard work and a lot of time, which is all unpaid for them guys. So fair play to them to be able to keep this, have the passion to be able to maintain this for the use of others and themselves, of course. Speaking to the guys coming over, they come over here regular. Wee fishing trips, just wee nights away camping, staying over. So it benefits them as well as the general public. It's good. Long live the volunteers of Rams Island. I was just heading back to camp there and I seen this wee path shooting off to the side that I hadn't been down yet. So I thought I'd check it out. But I think it leads to a bit of a dead end. There's nothing of interest hit down here anyway. But it gives me the opportunity to tell you about a guy called O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon was one of the great Irish outlaws. And he spent some time on the run, hiding out here. And he managed to evade the boys who were after him. I'm afraid I don't know much more about him. And it's probably a bit of folklore, a bit of exaggeration anyway. But yeah, some guy called O'Hanlon took refuge on Rams Island back in the day. I hope he's not still here and down this path. Better get out of here. And I also heard that Wolftone done something similar by taking refuge here on Rams Island. I don't know much about either of those guys and their stories and their connections to Rams Island. If you know, I'd be absolutely delighted for you to tell me. down in the comments.
Just when the oh my god. The fish and
that?
stuff.
But
But
the frogs in the island
When
too.
we were talking at the same time.
No, it wasn't me,
Talking
no.
at the same time.
just cracking on there.
Is that a bad thing to do?
I was just ignoring it and talking on.
I can't believe he was farting and talking at the same time. Like, what kind of mom could do that?
Can't get any of that. Right, get that on now, son. Get it all on. Get the flames rising.
Flipsy,
You-
you got more than that.
Take your slacking, son.
You need, it's the big ones that sort of, you know,
Yeah. Get them wee ones on and get the flames. They go higher and it burn.
So Davey,
Yes.
tell the group,
Uh-oh.
when was the last time you actually caught a fish?
Summer of '86.
85 actually, so. It was a few months back.
Tell the truth.
A few months back in the villa. Yeah, it would have been, yeah, a couple of months back. This is a wee bit different. There was no algae. It's the algae.
You haven't given up yet though, have you? Still
No.
another,
Tomorrow morning.
tomorrow's another day, as they say.
Tomorrow's another day, and we'll give it another go before we leave.
Now there's a nice bit of heat.
You wear Crocs?
I've got a pair. I wear them.
What?
I wear them to go to the sauna.
Have you no dignity?
I only got them last year.
You say
bought
that
them.
until you put a
I'm
pair
telling you,
on.
I've never
I
thought.
never put a pair on.
I've
Well, that's
never
your problem. Until if you
I
did
got
put a
these
pair
get
on, you'd
bought
be
to me,
like,
and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Do you have Crocs, Brian? No. Would you ever wear a pair?
well, I haven't ever worn a pair.
Want to give a shout out to my nephew James. He's a big fan of the Rock and Roll Rambler, and he wanted to be on YouTube, so give him a shout out.
Okay, so that's us back in the tents for the night. As usual, great crack around the fire, but it is 2 AM, which is very late for me, so I'm just going to bid you good night. I'll see you in the morning. Trying to speak here. Good morning. Lovely to wake up to the sound of rain on the tent. So relaxing. And last night I got a good bit of sleep. Now there was snoring and plenty of it, but I got the earphones in, stuck on a bit of sleep music, just drifted off, and it seemed to do the trick. Slept right through to 8 o'clock this morning. So feeling a bit fresher now. When we arrived here, the guy, one of the volunteers, had said in the mornings go down to the chicken coop, and if there's any fresh eggs, we're welcome to have them, get them on the pan, get a bit of breakfast. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going straight down there to see if there is any. So there is a couple in there, but there's a hen or chicken. What's the difference? Anyway, there's one in there, so I don't think I'm reaching my hand in to get it. No chance. So no eggs for breakfast. Breakfast is served by designated chef Davy Ball. Looks absolutely amazing. Let's get stuck into it. Oh, we even got a runny yolk. Top man. Lovely breakfast made by Mr. Davy Bell.
Glad I got loads of mushrooms there. He's got all the but
Compliments to the chef. Now, time to get packed away. So that's us all packed up. The wee camp served us well. We've left absolutely no trace, as should always be the case. And that's Rams Island. It's hard to believe that somewhere so small can have so much history attached to it, yet be completely unknown to so many people. It's been an absolutely incredible place to spend the last couple of days, and I'm so glad I got to experience it. And even better to have the whole island to ourselves. Now, our boat will be here shortly, so it's probably time to get home. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.
They always said, I think what happened on Rams stayed on Rams.